Miss Steinberg. I'm going to do a quick review on race. As I'm grading race paragraphs, I am still seeing some little mistakes on some parts and some larger mistakes on others. So I wanted to go over a few things with you this Monday morning before you start your major grade that is, in fact, a race paragraph. These are also known as short answer questions. This should be a short paragraph of probably about 4 sentences. These are not very long, but they are detailed and they do involve thinking. So I wanted to quickly go over with you. These are race notes from the beginning of the year that we took probably in August or September. Hopefully you still have these. I may try to get these back up on Canvas for you if you need them. But a reminder that your R stands for restate the question as a statement. And your A is to answer that question. These two, your R and A, create your little thesis or introduction to that paragraph. Now, what is important, and a lot of people are not doing this, is in this R, part of your restating has to include the title of whatever you are working on, whether it is a poem, a book, a movie, a TV show, an article, whatever it may be that you're asked about. You have to put the title of that piece of work in your sentence, along with the author if it is given. And in most cases it is. If the author is not given, you could put the title of the article that it came from or something along those lines. I mean, the article piece that it came from, if it came out of a newspaper, off of a certain website, anything like that. But you've got to let your reader know whenever you answer these kind of literary questions what it's coming from. If you just start typing, we don't know what you're talking about. You got to be sure you're putting that title and author in there and answering all parts of the question. Now, for this week and last week, our focus was on that essential question about, and I'll get to that exactly word for word in a minute, but about how we can change one person can change our community. So to continue going through our notes, we know that our C is to cite text evidence, and you need to include excerpts, chunks of text, however you want to say it, in quotes, and have a parenthetical citation or documentation. This is your little parentheses. Now, when we do this, we need to introduce. If you look where my mouse is right here, these are 4 ways that you can introduce that piece of text. A lot of you got your first sentence, your R and A, and then you just start quoting text. We got to have a way to introduce that. So that's going to help your flow and organization of your piece of writing, which is very important. And that E, of course, is to explain and expand your response. This is where we are really making that connection between what you chose as your text and your answer. How does that show that? A lot of you are still just repeating what you put up here in your A. That is not an explanation. You got to make that connection. This is where your deeper, more mature thinking comes from. Again, here are some starters that you can use for this. This right here is the only time you would be using I. I saw a lot of, I think that, da-da-da. That's not what we're writing about up here. You may use I right there to do your explanation, but otherwise the I shouldn't be in your paper. So just make sure that you've got these pieces, okay? I want to quickly go over parenthetical citations because I'm seeing some mistakes with this, and I just wanted to quickly go over these. So to create a citation for borrowed text, you have to put the piece of text that you are using in quotes. And then your parenthetical citation is actually parentheses with the author's last name and the page number. Now, guys and girls, some of you are putting, with the Jason Reynolds article, you put like 13. There weren't 13 pages to that article. There were 2. So I don't know where y'all got those. I don't know if you were maybe counting lines or paragraphs, but unless it is a poem, you're not doing lines. You're doing page numbers. Even if the article is only 1 page, that's fine. You're going to just put a 1. No big deal. Okay, so just remember. Here's some examples. Now, what I did notice a lot in that Jason Reynolds article, I know that it had a lot of where they were quoting him. So I just wanted to go back over that. I know that you guys know you put those double quotes at the beginning and end of your piece of text that you are borrowing. But if there is dialogue, if you will remember that rule, we put double quotes around the whole thing and then single quotes around where the person is talking, if you remember that from earlier this year. So make sure you are doing that if you're using something that's got someone speaking in it. Now, let's say in the event that your article that you read, because you are going to be reading articles this week, let's say your article doesn't have an author, but it maybe gives us the source that it came from. When you are doing your parenthetical citation, you can put that source here, maybe like the Washington Post or something. But always look for that author, because a lot of times they're going to have them. So look for that author, and again, page number will be on there. For these articles you're going to be using this week, it's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 pages. So that number right here shouldn't be any bigger than that, okay? The next thing I wanted to go to real quick, let me get my computer on it, is your assignment that you had for last week. We did this in a very detailed way, very, very detailed way. And let me just tell you, I had kids writing about all kinds of books and TV shows. I want you guys to look at how detailed this is. It reviews you right here what race is. It goes over that essential questions. How can one person's actions change their situation, community, or world? There's our essential question that we're focusing on. This is going to be your focus again this week. I did an example for you using Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. You are not using a random book. And it says right here, your response should not be about Harry Potter. This is an example. This was just to lay out for you the format of this short answer race paragraph, how it should be. We even color coded. So you notice here in the novel, and I've got my novel title, and that really should be underlined, but for some reason the underline wasn't sticking in there, by J.K. Rowling. There's my author. Harry Potter's brave actions changed his community. There's my R. Here's my A, by keeping Voldemort from returning. That's my answer. This is how I'm answering this, about how Harry is changing his community. At the end of the book, it states, there's my introduction to my text. I have some dialogue. So I've got those double quotes here, single here. And then to Mr. Potter, for pure nerve and outstanding courage, I award Gryffindor House 60 points. I've got my single quote and my end double quote. I've got my parenthetical citation, parenthesis, author last name, page number, parenthesis. Now, this purple is all my explanation. So I got to connect. How did Harry, keeping Voldemort from returning and having his bravery and helping award points to his house, how is that all working together? So I have, this shows that Harry saved Hogwarts, his school, and his community because he was fearless when he kept Voldemort and Professor Quirrell from getting the Sorcerer's Stone, which would have given Voldemort a real body and allowed his reign of terror to return. So I'm making that connection between what happened in the book and this essential question. Now, if we go down to our assignment, and this is where I'm kind of concerned about some of you, you have to read what you're writing about, your assignment, plain as day, using the article you read yesterday. Jason Reynolds, named National Ambassador for Young People's Literature. Answer the following question in race format. Oh, here's your question again. So I'm writing about this Jason Reynolds article related to this question. Okay? Your expectations of the things you had to have in here. This is basically your R and A. This is your C. And this is your E. That's basically what it's telling you. Check these off that you did them all. Okay, there was also a rubric on here that told you what I'm going to be looking for. I wrote lots and lots and lots and lots of notes for you guys on your assignments. If you got 100 and you did great and there were no mistakes, then in the comments, I just put great job and gave you your grade. If you had even a little tiny thing like the quotes were a little bit mixed up, I put that in there because I wanted you guys to have all the information you need to do your very best on this major grade assignment this week. So some things to keep in mind for this week. Keep this race. What do these things mean? Okay, keep that in mind. It's a very simple format. You do need to use this format. This is a great format for answering the short answer questions and making sure you've got everything in them that you need. You can look back at this example again because it's a very plain, easy to see. The color coding makes it stick out. If you want to go back and look at this, you can. So in your thing this week, you are going to have 3 articles that you can choose from, 3 different ones. You are choosing one, and that will be your focus for the week. On Monday, you will be just reading that article. On Tuesday, the assignment that is the major grade opens up, and it will look similar to this, how this one looked this week, and you will type directly into the box. Now, I also want to tell you guys and girls, there is cheating going on. I am well aware of that. I cannot stop it. But when you write, I know how all of you write. When you turn something in that doesn't sound like you, that's a big red flag for me. When the same people turn in the exact same paragraph, word for word, they are getting zeros. Do not do that. Do your own work. You have a little article to read and about a 4-sentence response, and that is an entire test grade. You can do that, guys and girls. You can do that all on your own. We've been doing this all year, and I believe that you can do it, okay? So please make sure that you are reviewing once you get into that assignment exactly what those expectations are again. Okay, I hope you do awesome on your test. It will be due on Thursday. That race paragraph for a major grade, test grade, will be due on Thursday of this week. It opens up on Tuesday. Again, you're going to just choose one article, and it's going to be that article that you've chosen with that essential question, doing that race paragraph. All right, good luck, guys and girls.